and I'll just interview myself if you don't mind, okay? The hard questions I understand are, he took her to a remote location, right? We were 100 yards from a scuba diving store with tanks in the back. We were 100 yards from a scuba diving store, not a remote location, okay? We were in view of other people at Baby Beach. So let's clear that up. Me leaving the island, okay? Me escaping from the island, or how they put it. I went down.
Which was extremely misreported.
Yeah. I met with Robyn's mother at 8 o'clock on that morning, and met with the ambassador, the U.S. Embassy representative. I said I would stay here till Robyn's mother, needed me. When I met with her, she said, "Gary, you should go home. My cousin's coming in. She's going to bring support."
Robyn's mother told you that?
Yes, in front of the U.S. representative, ambassador representative, and then her name was Winnie. And I asked her, should I go in front of Robyn? She said, yes, you should go on your already scheduled flight. Okay.
Gary Giordano seemingly taking over his interview on ABC's Good Morning America today. He's back in the U.S. after he was released from an Aruban jail. Very confident there. He's been in Aruba, had been there for 4 months, suspected in the disappearance of Robyn Gardner. She went missing while on vacation with Giordano in August. He says they went snorkeling and she was swept out to sea. Yesterday, judges denied the prosecution's last-minute appeal to hold him any longer. Let me bring in my guests, criminal defense attorney Jennifer Bonjean and former police detective Steve Kardian. Great to see you both. All right, Steve, let me start with you. If you were interrogating this guy like Robyn Roberts did on Good Morning America today, would you get the feeling that he's telling the truth, that he's confident, that he sounds sure of himself, or does he sound like he's trying to sell you a story?
Well, he's arrogant. He is sure of himself. He's got a ton of red flags in there. But that's not going to get a conviction in the Dutch system. So, yeah, I didn't believe his story.
You didn't? No. Okay. Why not?
He's almost a scary man. Well, he talks about being exhausted. Vinny, I've been an athlete all my life. I've chased down bad guys and fought with them. I know what exhausted looks like. He strolls up those stairs like he was nonchalant. He walks through the hallways, not yelling, not doing anything. He claims that his sneakers were on when he was in the water. That alone, had he ran through the sand, there'd be caked sand on those sneakers. So it just doesn't make any sense.
I didn't even think of that, Steve. That's a great point. I'm looking for some caked sand there. Does anyone see caked sand?
None.
Jennifer, do you see caked sand?
I didn't look for caked sand exactly.
All right, well, tell me your impression. What do you think of Gary Giordano in his interview today?
My impression is I am not, I don't have any clairvoyant abilities and to read this man's brain. But what I can tell you is that the evidence doesn't establish reasonable suspicion or probable cause, and that you cannot keep a man indefinitely detained as a result of it. And that's not just in the Dutch system. That is in our system as well, as it well should be. We cannot convict people simply out of suspicions and
Did you believe him, Jennifer?
Behavior. And what's that?
Did you believe him?
Did I believe him? Yeah, I have no reason not to believe him at this point. I have no barometer to tell when someone's telling the truth. I mean, nobody believed the Ramseys either. Nobody believed the fellow that was first accused of the Elizabeth Smart kidnapping. You know, we in the media over here jumped to conclusions very quickly based
right. We didn't believe Casey
less
Anthony
than
either.
circumstantial evidence, and oftentimes it doesn't ever bear out. So, you know, it's silly to sit here and say, oh, who cares whether I believe him or not? What is the system, what is the investigation showing? What is the evidence showing? And it's not showing that this man
it wouldn't matter, though, Jennifer. You're a criminal defense attorney. I mean, would you sit him down and talk to him before you let him speak and make sure that you believed him before you would let him speak? Because
I'd never let my clients speak on national TV.
Steve, the other thing that I found interesting on Good Morning America today was the 3 children of his that he brought along, and they were kind of standing right behind him, looking at Robyn Roberts as she's interviewing the father. It was a little awkward, but I'm wondering your thoughts about that, Steve. Do you think that was part of maybe a shield that he brought there? Because maybe you don't ask certain questions if the guy's kids are right there? I was trying to figure out what the purpose of all that was.
Yeah, in part, and I think it was a media event. I think it was a public relations event to try and get people to like this guy a little bit. From the phone call that he made to his kids when ABC was in there filming him to this interview this morning, as counsel just mentioned, there's no reason for him to be in the public spotlight like that. Any attorney, I think, with good thoughts and intentions, would not have had him speak on national television the day after or the day that he gets home from Aruba.
There is over 50 pictures of me after this film. The pictures of when they all came down. I'm wet. Okay, I'm wet. So when I came out of the water, I was exhausted. I had my tennis shoes on when we went in the water, and when I came back, I was swimming back. It was exhausted when I got back to shore. And then I had to run all the way around. Here was the thing. It's like running a marathon and you come around the last corner and you're expecting a whole crew of people yelling for you and there's nobody there. You're not going to go high-five the air. I went around there before there was people there. There's nobody there. There's not one person in the parking lot.
That was Gary Giordano today on ABC's Good Morning America. He's back in the U.S., free from an Aruban jail, but there are a lot of questions about whether he was in the water the day Robyn Gardner disappeared. Now, he claims the two went snorkeling and she was swept out to sea. Then he went back to shore to get some help. This is surveillance video Giordano was talking about. It was shown on Good Morning America. A witness who saw him that day says Giordano's sneakers were wet, but his shorts were not. So did he really go snorkeling, or is that his cover story? You know, we're trying to get to the bottom and try to figure this out. Steve Kardian's with us, former police detective. I love that concept about, now we got a witness saying that they were wet. But, you know, you don't have the sand on them. Is he wet? Who goes snorkeling with your sneakers on anyway? Is that, I guess, to protect your feet from the coral? Is that why you would do it, Steve? Because I do snorkeling, but I usually have those flippers on, you know?
Yeah, Vinny, I mean, he would be way down. Tennis shoes, I don't know, like you say, anybody that goes swimming with tennis shoes. So, absolutely not believable. He contradicts himself a number of times. He states that he was 100 yards away from the scuba shop, that there were people from Baby Beach that could see them, were in view. Then why he gets there and there's nobody at all around? So it's just another contradiction that shows that he's certainly being less than truthful.
But I can tell you what I think of the investigators. Right now, they're 0 for 2. So they're batting 0 in my book. All right. Thanks so much, Steve. Great to see you.